Hi, future entrepreneurs. My name is Kelly. I have been a small business owner and entrepreneur for 10 years now. And today I want to talk to you about something super important, which is how to analyze your business idea before diving in headfirst. I get it, the excitement, the passion, but also the uncertainty. Is it worth it? Is it something you're going to want to do long term? I've been there. I get it. So today I'm going to walk you through the steps that I take personally and with friends to analyze business ideas that I have or they have to see if it's really something that we want to take forward and put our time and money and energy and sweat and tears into before even getting started. So if you're on the track of entrepreneurship, or if you've had a business idea and you want to analyze it, or if you just want to have this tool for in the future, then stick around because we are going to break it down with a couple questions that I think you might find helpful. Okay, so first up is passion. Okay, ask yourself, do you truly love this idea to work tirelessly on it and possibly for a long time? So remember, passion fuels persistence, and you have to be persistent when you're starting a new business idea. So this is something that you're going to be talking a lot about. You're going to be spending a lot of time working on. You're going to be explaining to others, whether it's your friends or family who are wondering what the heck you're spending all your extra time on, or investors down the road, customers. You have to be able to talk about it a lot, and you're going to spend a lot of time on it. So it has to be something that you're really passionate about, because I can tell you, if you're not really strongly passionate about it from the get-go, the amount of effort that it takes and the time that it takes and the devotion that it takes to it and to the subject matter that is involved in whatever you're working on for your business, it is going to take persistence. And you're not going to have that unless you're really passionate about what the business is. So if you start out kind of lukewarm, then by the time that you're explaining it a year later, or you're working on it and you're not really making that much money yet, and you haven't really hit your stride in the business and everything's still just a little tough, it can get really hard to stay motivated and to really want to do it for the long term. Trust me, I know. You have to be almost obsessed with your business. And I say almost, but you kind of have to be obsessed with your business. I think in a way, entrepreneurs are always mildly obsessed with the project they're working on, and not necessarily in a blind way of, you have to be real with yourself and as far as the finances and your business plan in general. But on the other hand, you have to be obsessive in the way that you go about it and the way that you are committed into doing the hard work and the consistent work that it takes to be able to pull off being a successful entrepreneur. So ask yourself, am I passionate about this? Can I see myself doing this every day, day in and day out, for as long as you want to do the business, which for most people is quite a while. Even if you have an exit strategy, you're going to be doing it for at least a little while, and you need to be passionate about it. Okay, so next we're going to think about scalability. Is this something that can grow beyond just you, or will it always be a one-man or one-woman show? Think about the future. So I often have met entrepreneurs, well, they're really passionate, and we talked about passion, okay, and that's great, we want that, but they're so passionate about it. They're like, I can do this, I don't really need to scale, it's going to be kind of a passion project for me, which is totally fine if you want to do something that is a passion project, but you have to kind of know when you get started that that's not necessarily going to be a business in the sense of something that can give true financial freedom and something that can scale in the long run. If you plan on doing all things yourself, you're going to kind of be in that limbo between a side hustle and a business. And sometimes that can get really stressful. So in the beginning, like I said, it can be easy to think that you're going to be able to do it all, or that you want to do it all. But if you want it to grow and you eventually want the business to be a source of employment for other people, which is great because it spreads your business beyond just you. And the sense of it also helps create jobs. That's one of the biggest joys of owning a business, in my opinion, is giving people work, enjoying being someone who helps employs others, which helps their dreams come true, etc. So you also want to think about your personal, mental health balance. You can't always do it all. And if you're going to scale your business to a point that makes it worth it financially for you, so you don't have to work another job, then you're going to have systems and processes in place that eventually will go beyond just you, whether it's skill set and or just labor. You can't do it all. You can't be in all places at once, and you really don't want to be. So is this something that can scale? Is it something that can provide income or employment for other people down the road to where you can truly step back and be the creative, the captain of the ship, so to say, and not always have to be in the business? So starting out, it might just be you, but in the future, is this something that can scale beyond just you so you don't have to work in the business all the time and can work on it? Now let's talk finances. So what are the startup costs for this business idea that you have? Is it something that you can bootstrap yourself in the beginning, maybe start small and then eventually grow bigger? Is it something that you can afford to do on your current salary, your current income or savings right now? How much are you willing, or how much will you need to be willing to invest in this business for it to be successful? So we've talked about passion, we talk about scalability, but scalability means investment. You have to be able to, when the business grows, to be able to invest resources into it, both time and money. So is it something, again, that you can do on your own right now, or is it something that you're going to have to bring in outside investors in? And what does that look like? Is it realistic for you and where you're at right now? So there's always people who are going to be willing to invest in great business ideas, but is that something you even want to do right now? Or would you like to be the sole owner, the 100% owner of your business? And what does that look like? So take some time and really think about the financial costs. If there's risks that you're going to take with your personal savings and things like that, analyze those risks and think about, is it worth it? And if you're passionate about it enough, and if you think the business idea is good enough, then maybe it absolutely is, but definitely give it some thought, because sometimes businesses can cost a lot more than you think they will in the beginning, or sometimes you can do a lot more with less than you think you can in the beginning. When I was first starting out with my jewelry business, and I really was living off my life savings. I quit my job to start the business, and I started it with my life savings essentially. But it wasn't so much at that point that I knew that I couldn't eventually make it back, but I was willing to bet on myself. And so I did some kind of strategic planning with my finances and did some creative financing ways to work through some of those beginning costs that can add up. But I kept it small, and then I grew. And then as the business grew, I was able to invest more and more in it and keep scaling until eventually it was a well-oiled machine making finances, and I didn't have to take on extra debt. But sometimes certain business ideas are going to require some major capital in the beginning. So if you have something like software or some sort of tech idea, those are usually really financially heavy in the beginning because you have to get web developers and stuff like that. So depending on what your idea is, analyze the financial aspect of it and what that financial aspect means to you personally, to you, your family, and to you in the long run. And next up is revenue potential. Can your business idea make money? Real, actual money. So loving what you do is really important, but also being able to pay the bills is really important. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to being in a small business, it has to be worth it monetarily to make it through those hard times where you're really frustrated and you just want to quit. And it can take a lot to power through and be a small business owner. So on the other side of that hurdle, you want there to be some upside, which is financial gain. So think about your target audience. Can you picture, is there a target audience for you? Can you picture them? What are they looking for? Is there a problem that your product solves for them? Is there already someone doing it in the market? Which chances are there might be. Not every business idea has to be brand new out of the box. It can just be better or different, or your personal way that you think is way better. Or it could be brand new. But either way, think about the target audience that would buy your product or utilize your service, and write it down. Where do they work? Where do they live? How do they talk? Where do they hang out on social medias? And think about how you would approach them to eventually get the sale. Is that going to be difficult to do? Is it people that is it a large group of people? Is it a small niche? Because sometimes, even though it solves a great problem, maybe the pool of people that need that problem solved is so small that the revenue potential may not be what you think it is. So you don't necessarily want to cast so big of a net that it's too general, but if your product is so niche, then that might be a little bit difficult as well, depending on what your revenue goals are. So think about it. Can your product, your business, your service make money? And what kind of money? Are we talking about millions and millions of dollars? Are we talking about tens of thousands of dollars? And that's good for you because really that's kind of where you are satisfied being at. But you have to think about it. How big do you want it to be? That goes along with scalability. How big? What are your revenue goals? And can you meet those revenue goals with your current business idea in its current state? So that brings us to my next question, which is marketing and sales. How are you going to market it? How are you going to sell it? So thinking about that target audience that we were just talking about, how are you going to reach them? How are you going to get to your clients? How are you going to get the word out about your business when you launch it to make sure that people know about your great business idea and can actually make a purchase from you when they're ready? And in general, how do you spread the word? If you want your brand to be a household name, then how do you get in the households? So think about whether it's social media, email marketing, or just word of mouth. Have a strategy. Think about where your clients, again, where are they? What are they interested in? Where are they getting marketed to that's effective? Look for things that are cost effective. So you may not be able to, obviously, when you're first starting out, pay for a big advertisement, whether it's media or whatever, but is there a launch party that you can do? Do you have any local businesses around that you can collaborate with? So when I was first starting out, one of the things that really helped my jewelry business was that we went in wholesale into other jewelry boutiques around the city, and then eventually nationwide, and then eventually overseas as well. So that was something that I was able to help do to kind of spread the word without having to spend a lot of money, because boutique owners are always looking for new product to put in their stores. And so I would find them and pitch the line to them, and then eventually it would get in, and so they would buy things. And so I was exposed to their customer base. But now brands will do things like a launch party, and social media is so important. Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? And look at what other brands are doing that seems to be working for them as well. Okay. So not every social media account or every social media outlet is exactly right for your brand. So give it some thought. Think about which one is better for you. Maybe Instagram suits your customer clientele more. Maybe your customer is found on TikTok. Maybe it's, I don't even know, Facebook. Whatever it is, just think about how you're going to actually tell people. I can tell you that I've had a lot of friends that I've known, or just people I've seen on social media as well, where they'll launch a business and then they get really excited and they have this great website and they have all these things, and then they launch it and they're like, it's open. And then it kind of loses steam because they don't really know how to keep that launch mode going to gain new customers, to keep bringing in new people, how to build an email list, and just how to build a tribe of people who are passionate about your business and your business idea, and essentially you. So think about that. Think about how you're going to market, how you're going to sell your product. And is it something that's going to require a lot of finances, or that you could really start small and scale upon? So starting a business is a journey. It's filled with highs, it's filled with lows. And by asking yourself these questions, you're setting yourself up for success. Remember, it's not just about starting, but about thriving. You don't want to just start a business and stop and start and stop. You want to be able to find the right business, the right fit, something that you've thought about, and that's something that can truly take you through the years on your entrepreneurial journey that you are so excited about, that eventually you can pass on or sell or whatever, ride off into the sunset with your business forever. I don't know. But whatever your goal is, make sure you just ask yourself these questions before you get started. I think it can save you some time and some heartache and some disappointment or some dead ends down the road if you truly analyze it. Something I always used to tell myself, or I would tell people who were asking me about starting their own businesses, I would say, ask yourself all the questions that people are going to ask you. Try to talk yourself out of it. Because I always try to talk myself out of it. Because if I ask myself the questions ahead of time, then I know the answers. I've done the research. So if someone tries to second guess me or, belittle my business idea, they're not going to have any effect on me because I've already had that thought. I've already questioned myself on that, and I have an answer for it, or I have a solution for it rather, or I have a plan for it. So can you talk yourself out of it? Can you ask yourself the hard questions and get past it? Because once you have that power, no one can make you feel bad about your own business idea because you are already your worst critic in the beginning. I don't mean that in a negative way, but in the beginning, take a hard look, be honest with yourself. And then once you get past that, there's really no stopping you. I've created a little PDF that you can download that goes over these questions as well. So you can have something to just kind of write it out. And so, yeah, hopefully you find that helpful. If you have found this video helpful today, let me know, drop a thumbs up, drop a comment, ask any questions you might have, and subscribe and follow me on my entrepreneurial journey. I am always happy to share any questions you might have, any feedback you might have from things you're trying or new ideas that you have. Obviously, you might not want to put your business ideas in the comments, but if you have any questions business related, let me know. Or if you have any ideas that you would like to see me talk about or explore in future videos, let me know. I am new at this, but I'm definitely not new at being an entrepreneur, and I'm so passionate about all things small business. So until then, dream big, take chances on yourself, bet on yourself, because I think you can do it. Bye for now. So I almost forgot to tell you, you can find the link below to the PDF that I created for you to follow along. And you can find me at Kelly Ivy on Instagram if you have any more questions. Bye.